949 Peach Blossom Road, and it says in the newspaper to come to 949 Peach Blossom Road. So if this is some kind of joke, I don't think it's very funny. Hello? Maybe I should wait. I wonder how that door opened. Hello? Not even an echo. I can't believe this place is still in operation. What a mess.
Hi.
What are you trying to do? Scare the fillings out of my teeth? Where did you come from?
From the road. There aren't many other ways to come from.
Well, I'm glad you're finally here. I was getting a little worried. I'm Lynn Fletcher.
Nice to meet you. I'm Jen Stoddard. But how did you know I was coming?
Well, somebody had to be coming. You can't very well hold a job interview alone.
No, I guess not.
About this job? You go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well?
Well?
How much does it pay? Don't you know?
Don't you know?
How could I know?
How could I know?
Didn't you put that in the paper?
No. Didn't you put the ad in the paper?
You mean you're not the one I'm supposed to come and see?
You mean you're not either?
Of course not. I came to apply.
I did too.
Well, then who are we supposed to come and see?
I don't know. The ad says, wanted, night desk clerk, apply person, Peaceful Rest Retirement Home, 949 Peach Blossom Road.
Yeah, but don't forget this part. Do not come until after dark.
That is a little odd, isn't it?
That isn't all that's a little odd. In the paper it says that 949 Peach Blossom Road is the Peaceful Rest Retirement Home. But the sign outside said Peach Blossom Retirement Home.
Well, do you suppose they changed the name?
They must have changed more than that. Take a look at this place. If anybody lives here, I'll eat their rent receipts.
It does look pretty deserted. Remember, Dad said not to come till after dark. Maybe we're too early.
By the looks of this place, I'd say we're too late.
What are you two doing here?
Yeah, who in the tarnation are y'all?
Nice to meet you too, I'm sure.
I asked you a question.
Excuse me, sir. Do you work here on this place?
You got 2 seconds to tell me what you're doing here. I'm gonna call sheriff.
Call him. We'd like to find out what we're doing here too.
Excuse me, sir. You ever heard of the Peaceful Rest Retirement Home?
You got 1 more second.
Have you ever heard of a newspaper? If so, then you'll know what we're doing here. Right there, where it's circled, you'll see a one after this place. We're looking for a job, that's all. And unless you care to help us, your company is not really necessary.
Well, I guess you folks is okay then. I guess you folks is all right. But this has got to be some kind of joke or some kind of misunderstanding. Ain't nobody lived in this place for 9 to 20 years.
What did you say?
I said ain't nobody lived in this place for 20 years. The newspaper must have got the dang address mixed up.
Newspapers ain't good for nothing except maybe going to the outhouse.
Are you sure that nobody's lived here?
I ought to be sure about it. I lived a mile down the road from this place for 35 years, and I know it ain't been operating for at least 20.
Well, then who could have put that ad in?
Like I said, the newspaper must have made a mistake. Even when this place was running, it wasn't called Peaceful Rest. It's named Peach Blossom after a road.
Yeah, that's what the sign said.
But still, the address is correct. 949 Peach Blossom Road.
Well, you folks can stay here all night if you want, but ain't nobody gonna show up and give you a job.
Maybe they're gonna reopen it.
Apparently, you folks ain't seen this place in the daylight. It's a real dump. Land may be worth something, but the house ain't good for nothing.
I got a tent leaks less than this thing.
My advice to you is to get back in your cars and get out of here while you still got time before dark.
But according to that ad, we have to stay at least until...
You go ahead, Mr.
Washington. The name's Zeke Washington. I first my wife, Bertha.
Hey.
Them there's the twins, Bonnie Sue and Bessie Lou.
Howdy.
Them boys over there's my farmers, Ernest T. and Jethro.
Hello.
Make sure you do get out of here. This ain't a good place to be after dark.
Oh, no? Why not?
Oh, no real reason. Let's just say there's some strange stories about this place. The unusual one's about old abandoned house guests.
You mean it's supposed to be haunted?
You said it, I didn't. I tend to think it's vandals or kids or something. That's why I stopped when I seen your cars up there.
Well, you go ahead, Mr. Washington. But we're going to stay and discuss what we're going to do about this fake ad.
All right, but you city slickers pay heed to what I said. Got that cornbread cooked. Y'all plowed them fields this evening? Yeah.
Hey, what's that damn punch me in the ribs?
I didn't want him to know about that.
Well, I should think not. There's a law about punching people in the ribs.
No, not about that. I didn't want him to know that we had to stay till after dark. There's something going on around here after dark that Mr. Washington doesn't know anything about.
Ooh, obviously a big mystery.
It's not beyond the realm of possibility.
Personally, I don't care what goes on here after dark, but I need a job.
You sound pretty desperate.
But not that desperate. I'm only trying to put myself through college, that's all.
I know what you mean. I am too.
Oh yeah, and I suppose you're going to state?
I am going to state.
Well, I'm a first-year law student. What are you?
I'm a first-year law student too. Isn't that amazing?
Oh yes, very, but you could think up something better than that.
No, I can't. But that's the truth.
I mean, putting the ad in the paper was pretty clever. I'll give you credit for that. But then making up lies to go along with everything I say, that's not too original.
But,
I warn you, I know karate.
I'm glad, but...
Okay, you got me here, I fell for it. Now what are you going to do with me? I warn you, all I'm looking for is a job.
But you must think that I didn't do this.
You almost had me fooled. I've heard guys going to great lengths to meet girls. But brother, you take the cake.
What do you think I am? Some sort of gigolo or something? I didn't put the ad in the paper.
Oh, come on, Fred. It's perfectly clear. You picked an old empty house and put an ad in the paper saying not to come until after dark. You knew that was the kind of ad that would sound good to a young, female-type law student. I didn't figure out what's going on until you lied that Mr. Washington got him to go away.
Lied to him? What did I lie to him about?
About that, we had to stay here and figure out about the fake ad or something like that. What a con artist.
But...
Don't you and me. Tell me, Svengali, how long have you been planning all of this?
I didn't plan anything. Only had a hunch that we should stay till after dark alone.
Oh, alone, is it?
Look, happen to think it's not a mistake on the newspaper's part? Don't you believe me at all?
Less than not at all.
Well, look, it's almost sundown. In fact, it's after sundown. The sun just disappeared over the horizon.
Ooh, how romantic.
Couldn't we wait just a few minutes?
Oh, I suppose, but I'll be surprised if anything happens, except that I slapped your face. Tell me, Fred, how did you do that?
I don't know how I did it, because I didn't do it.
Well, then, who did do that?
That's what we're going to stay and figure out.
Oh, no, that's what you're going to stay here and figure out.
Please, my children, don't feel you must go away.
Who said that?
Oh, dear me, I keep forgetting. People can't see me like this. I'll have to go back in and come out again, this time making a more conventional entrance. Dear, I'm afraid my startling you has materialized on the spot.
You ain't kidding.
So if you wait right here, I'll be right back in.
Is she gone?
As far as I can tell, are you all right?
I think I would have fainted, except that you're holding me up.
I told you something mysterious might happen.
Remind me to never disbelieve you again. Goodbye.
Oh, my dear, where are you going?
Are you talking to me?
Why, of course I'm talking to you. You did come to answer my ad, didn't you?
Is that your ad?
Well, of course it is. You needn't look so startled. We have a very definite for a night clerk for the desk, you know.
Oh, Colonel Smedley, you say the cutest thing.
Oh, you'll embarrass me, my dear. It's only because I have such lovely company.
Oh, you know what, Colonel Smedley? I wish I had you as my granddaddy.
Why?
Because then I'd be born British royalty. Lady Heloise Wadzerlinski. Got sort of a nice ring to it, don't it?
Eloise, you may have been called many things, but a lady is not one of them.
Why, indeed it does have a nice ring to it. It has a nicer ring than half the chimes of Parliament. A better ring than the Tower of Big Ben. Why, it has a delightful ring to it.
Oh, Colonel Prince, you say the cutest thing. You cat's meow in my book any day.
Speaking of cats, did I ever tell you about the ferocious spotted jaguar I bagged in Burma? The beast was pouched on the limb of a huge rubber tree overlooking Wagumba Falls.
Oh, hey, Lucy, how you doing?
Hello, Heloise. Hello, Cheeksy. Good evening, Colonel Smedley.
Yes, sir, good evening. Anyway, the beast was out in a huge swim overlooking the falls. My attendant called to me and said, "I too want to swim."
There go two of our more steadier clients.
Two of your steadier clients?
Well, tenants really, we call them clients because the service we offer here is so unusual. I hate to think what they'd do if it wasn't for us.
I'd like to think so too.
Tell me, Lucy, how come you don't open up your establishment till after dark?
Why should I? There's nobody here until after dark.
And so the moving pen writes, and having writ, writes on and on and on, till it runs out of fluid. Quickly, what runs with fluid?
I don't know.
Quickly, quickly.
I don't know. Druid? Willard?
Ah, of course. And the pen, having run out of fluid, attracts a gopher who eats it, thinking it is fluid. That's it, that's it. You're inspirational, my dear, inspirational.
Is that another of your steady clients?
Well, he's fairly steady about everything except his rent. Tenderson's a poet, you know, a contemporary of Edgar Allan Poe, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, and all those chaps. He was very good, though, but he never became famous. Here comes some more of our more steadier clients.
Even your helium balloon. That's what got us killed in the first place.
It's all your fault we died on Hindenburg.
I can't imagine why this poet never became famous.
Well, he was hoping he'd become famous posthumously, you know, after his death, but he really never made it. It really broke him up, poor dear.
Yes, I imagine it would. Are you ready to go, Lynn?
Yes, very.
I'll pay $2,000 a week for the job.
$2,000?
A week? I most certainly did. And there are many reasons for me wanting to hire a mortal. Fortunately, but not very often, we must deal with the outside world. Either a noisy, government person or a curious teenager, someone has to cause to molest us.
Well, if you're ghosts, then why don't you just scare them away?
Well, we could probably do that, of course, but we don't want to bring any unnecessary attention to ourselves. All we want out of life, or in our case, death, is what the sign says outside, peaceful rest.
Excuse me, Lucy. We looked, and there is no sign outside that says Peaceful Rest Retirement Home.
Dear, only ghosts can see that sign.
That would stand to reason.
Excuse me, Lucy, but may I talk to my associate in private?
Oh, of course you may. I don't want you to rush into anything rash. I'm just going upstairs to close the vents and windows. Some of our clients have a tendency to float away in their sleep. Herman, are you ready to go, sweetie?
Ghost Shimos, this place is a home for coots and dingbats.
Yeah, there are a couple things that I don't quite understand. Like, where were all these people when we got here?
Maybe there's a funny farm in the area and they send them down here for a recreation period. How should I know?
It can't be that simple. Listen, I'm honored in psychology, and I'd like to have a little talk with some of these people.
You can have a little talk with some of these people on your own time. All I'm interested in is finding out if it's safe to work here.
You mean you're still interested in the job?
For $2,000 a week, I'll dress up as Napoleon and join right in.
You're looking ravishing tonight, Miss LaRue. Simply ravishing.
Murder, will you please tell that slick, greasy, flea-bitten person that I am not talking to common riffraff tonight?
Admiration is the daughter of excellence.
Ho, Lavender. I see you haven't lost that delightful sense of humor of yours.
Milady says she ain't talking to you tonight, Mr. Andrews.
I heard, my lady, very well. Myrtle, would you mind informing her that should I run across any riffraff, I shall be happy to relay the message.
Milady, Mr. Andrews says... Mr. Andrews can blow it out his ears.
Why, thank you, Lavender. Ho, what have we here? Some new addition to our crowd. And what a lovely addition it is. Tell me, my dear, when did you pass away? You look extremely fresh.
Oh, come on, Myrtle, I want to be alone.
Timid, I like timidity.
To like it, you have none of it.
And that is precisely why I like it so. Most of the things I like I don't have much of. Money, race cars, sailing boats. Ha! Life is cruel.
And death is cruel too, isn't it?
No, death is easy. You no longer have to worry about trivial, mundane things such as eating, paying telephone bills, and getting traffic tickets.
Traffic ticket? Her big shot! Andrews III, you should have worried a little more about traffic tickets when you was alive. You know what this big schnookling did? He was run driving.
No? What?
He went and killed us. That's what he did. Ran us right to a 20-foot embankment. Do you know what it's like to have to haunt a 20-foot embankment?
Well, I told you, my dear, if you and your friends hadn't been doing the Charleston in the back seat.
We can do the Charleston better than them, right, Cheeksy?
That's honey.
See what I mean?
Well, anyway, as I was saying, if you had listened to me, Andrews III,
If I had listened to you, I never would have asked you out in the first place.
oh, that's not a very nice thing to say to your intended fiancé. That's not a very nice thing to say at all. What'd you say that for anyway, Andy?
There, baby cakes. Why, if I could pick anybody in the whole wide world to be dead with, you know it would be you.
Oh, do you really mean it, Andy?
As much as I've ever meant anything I've ever said before.
Lost him again, Ducky. Lost not the wife that Julia can make. If only you can remember to keep our appointments.
There you are, my dear. I've been looking all over for you.
Henry, again you let me wait at London Bridge.
Do you mean the London Bridge in London or the one in Arizona?
Now what would I be doing in Arizona?
I don't know. Perhaps allergies were bothering you.
You are hopeless.
Well, you see, it's very odd these days without a secretary to keep my appointments for me.
Well, if you hadn't fired our secretary before you took that roof, get your butt out.
Who are they?
Oh, that was Colonel Smedley and his lovely wife, Lady Smedley. They were on the Titanic.
I guess they tried haunting it for a while, but they kept catching cold, so they quit.
Well, who's the other lady? The one with the maid? You mean you don't know who Lavender LaRue is? Well, she was only the greatest silent film star who ever lived. For at least 6 months.
They say she was done in by her director, man named Yorick von Schwelz.
Apparently she couldn't learn to bat her eyes.
Alas, poor Yorick! I knew him well.
Lavender haunted old Yorick, so he did himself in too.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis noble to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune.
Isn't that from another play, Willoughby?
I didn't know you were so well versed, Andrew.
I read the comic book version.
But you never saw me perform Shakespeare, did you? Unless you saw me perform Shakespeare, you never saw Shakespeare.
You commoner. How can you even mention yourself and Shakespeare in the same breath? I know for a fact he never choose you for a role.
And besides, Willoughby, I never saw Shakespeare anyway. He died before I was born.
Ha! You think yourself a wit.
Yeah, a nitwit.
Be silent, fair damsel, or I shall bust your beanie.
I personally do not mind the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. All the world's a stage, and we but players.
Willoughby, they must have cured you for weeks before they let you perform.
Ah, life, where is thy justice?
Excuse me, but are you dead too?
Death, be not proud. Yes, fair damsel, I am dead, but I am not proud.
It ain't nothing to be proud about. Either you're dead or you ain't.
Truer words were never spoken. E tu, Brutus.
Well,
Wait, I thought his name was Yorick.
Brutus is his stage name.
well, excuse us, gang, but we have to get to a coming out party.
Yeah, a friend of ours is coming out of the family crypt.
Comes from a good family, but the crypt stinks. Ta-ta.
See you later, alligator.
And so long, crocodile.
They're vulgar but good-natured.
Excuse me, Willoughby, but how long have you been dead?
Well, that depends. What year is this? Rather, what century is this?
It's 1992.
You want to know how long I've been dead? I don't know, to tell you the truth. After my name in the encyclopedia, there's nothing but a bunch of dates and question marks. But, as the bard so rightly said, time waits for no man. And tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time, and all are yesterdays.
I hate to say anything, but this is not your average run-of-the-mill retirement home.
You don't really think, do you?
That they're ghosts? I don't know. But whatever they are, they sure do think they're ghosts.
I don't really like it,
But
$2,000 a week?
We can take the job together. You working a few nights a week and me working the other.
It would sure help out.
Home on range, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Oh, there.
Hi.
You look like tenderfoot. What you doing in these here parts?
We're looking for a job.
A job? Doing what? Teaching ghosts to say boo!
Well, they could use some lessons we haven't heard of boo yet.
Well, now, little lady, you probably ain't about to hear boo neither. You see, these here civilized, well-mannered ghosts, they ain't the kind that go around spooking everybody.
Why not? They're beginning to destroy all my illusions about ghosts.
We're all retired or semi-retired ghosts. We all been through that chain rattling bit once too often. Well, take me. I was world champion rodeo cowboy in 1896. Then I went and got myself shot up in a poker game in Waco, Texas.
And in our deep lust for Tex, we threw our bodies in front of his to save our dear beloved Tex.
We threw our bodies, more like you drug us in front of him. I wasn't willing to risk my life for someone else's. And no offense, Tex, but I had better plans for my future.
What future?
Oh, like going to Kansas City to become a famous dance hall girl. That was my dream. I hadn't planned on spending the rest of my life as an angel.
Well, Prissy, no one ever could accuse you from being an angel.
Well, thank you, Val.
You should have been there. There we were in Waco, Texas, playing poker. Next thing I know, he was accusing Pancho of cheating. Up come Tex with a gun, but Prissy and Bell were in front of him, and Tex went down along with Bell. I came up, pulling my gun, fired the first shot and missed. It ricocheted off and got Prissy. My second shot, he got Pancho, and unfortunately, my third shot, well, I shot myself trying to put my my gun back in my holster.
Did you say Waco, Texas? That sure is a dangerous place.
You ain't telling me. Why, we had hunt some flea-bitten hotel for now to 50 years now.
You think that's bad? We got kicked off the reservation. We had too loud of a party.
Yeah, get carried away with brain dead sometimes.
Who are they? Are they ghosts too?
He's Pappy. He came on a horse. He fought last time. Boy, Pappy classy.
Well, my pappy.
If your papi had left us alone, we could still have final reservation.
We're used to running around barefooted, but now we hear we feel so underdressed.
Yeah, drafting house terrible. And another thing, what this mean?
Anyways, why, if Miss Lucy hadn't opened up this place, I don't know what me and this gang would have done.
Are you talking about me again, Tex?
Yes, Miss Lucy, I sure was. I was telling these here youngins what a kind and generous lady you was.
That's right, he was.
Well, I'm very glad to be able to help my friends. There's a definite need for this kind of place, isn't there, Tex?
Yes, ma'am, there sure is. Why, if we'd had places like this when I was young, my pappy wouldn't have had to haunt the outhouse. He died one night in a terrible storm. Old thing tipped over him right in the middle of it. He never would let nobody stay in that thing when the wind was coming up.
We got him, though. He not know what hit him in our house.
What? Dang it, just get! Get out here! Get! Dang it, just get! 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 Let's go! Maybe, but then again, it might be good to let them know how ghosts operate.
Oh, they'll have plenty of time for that. You see, they're spending the night. We're what?
What did you say?
Oh, but it's all settled. I prepared 2 of our very best rooms for you. That's very nice of you, Lucy, but I'm afraid I'm double parked. But I've already had your cars moved to the garage.
What?
I had Andrew move him. He loves to drive other people's cars.
But my car is locked, and I have the keys.
Dear, when you reach our station in life, you don't worry about keys and locked doors.
Well, what if we don't want to stay?
Oh, but it's all settled. How else are you going to find out if you like our clients and go to their establishment?
Can't we sort of guess?
Oh, but it's a perfect trial situation. You can even put some time in at the desk. All you have to do is hand out the room keys, which our clients really don't need room keys, but we like to do it anyway. We feel it adds a touch of normalcy to the proceedings.
I think we might as well. I guess we better.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear you'll stay. Come along with me, Chase, and let's go put the mirrors back into their room.
Hey, this is great. I might be persuaded to play my juice heart for you.
I can hardly wait.
Well, B, she's correct. Our cars aren't out there anymore.
I wouldn't work in this place for $2,000 a minute.
Well, now, it may not be that bad. We just have to figure out what all they told us is actually true.
Any of it's true, I'll die.
I wouldn't say that. I still think there has to be a logical explanation for all this.
Yeah? We're going crazy.
I did consider that possibility.
Aren't you a real ray of sunshine?
But I considered the odds of us both going crazy at the same time was extremely phenomenal. No, there has to be another reason. When we get back to town tomorrow,
If we get back.
if we get back to town tomorrow, I'm going to the courthouse to check out the ownership of this place.
All I can say is I hope this is some new place Disneyland just put up.
I wouldn't bet on it.
Room 000, please.
Room. What?
Room 000. You're new here, aren't you?
Yes, Mary. Here's your key. Miss.
Cersei. I'm a witch. They burned me at the stake in 1693.
Well, you're looking very well, considering.
Well, didn't you know? Ghosts can look any way they want to.
No, I didn't know that.
Well, now you know. I wish to be woken at the usual hour.
And, what is the usual hour?
Midnight, of course.
Of course. Have a pleasant sleep.
She's an interesting character.
If she was any more interesting, I think I would have fainted.
Just be brave. It's only for one night.
Oh, dear me, the Colonel Lady's family are fighting again. You'll just have to excuse them. Sometimes ghosts slip back into their old ways. And you'll just have to excuse them, too. They're pressing their music. Where's the young lady?
She had a sudden attack of the bends.
Dear, are you back there?
Yes?
Well, why don't you stand up?
I will, as soon as I find my shoes.
Well, why'd you take your shoes off?
I didn't. My feet jumped out of them. I'm surprised my knees are still working.
Dear, there's really no need to be afraid. A little noise never hurt anybody.
That's what Nobel said when he invented dynamite. Really, Lucy, I don't think I can work here.
Oh, but you haven't given it a fair trial. You'll feel differently in the morning.
I probably will. By then I'll have died of fright and fit right in. I'm sorry, but my nerves just won't take much more of this.
Oh, poor dear. Perhaps a bit of wolfbane soup? Now, Willoughby, quit fooling around. He's practicing for the part of Hamlet's father.
Talk about typecasting.
I heard that.
I'm not feeling very well.
Will $3,000 a week make you feel any better?
I'm feeling better. I'm feeling worse.
The bedrooms are all ready, Miss Lucy. Why, thank you, Myrtle. You didn't throw out the cobwebs, now did you?
No, ma'am. I folded them up and put them in the drawers like you asked me to.
Well, that's fine. Is Miss LaRue feeling any better?
Yes, ma'am. She's watching some of her old movies on the broken TV.
Well, without any picture tube.
Well, children, I guess you might as well come along with me and let's go up to your rooms.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must say, good night, sweetheart. Good night.
What was that?
Well, sometimes it's very hard to keep the lights on without electricity. Come along.
Where could they all be?
Who cares? It's morning and we're still alive. That's all I care about.
How did you sleep?
How did I sleep? How did you sleep with chains rattling and things going thumping and bumping all night long? It sounds as if somebody's having a basketball game on my ceiling.
It was sort of disconcerting, wasn't it?
Disconcerting's not the word. My bed jiggled so much, I thought I should put a quarter in it to keep it going.
Yeah, I know what you mean. The furniture in my room, it rearranged itself 3 times before I got to sleep. For a while, I thought my Aunt Hattie had been in the room.
I'll bet your Aunt Hattie's never been any place like this. When you think about it, though, it was kind of fun sleeping in a haunted house.
So you're convinced they're ghosts?
I didn't say that, but at this point, it wouldn't be hard to convince me of anything. I'm in a pretty believing mood.
I know what you mean, but I still think there's a logical explanation for all this.
Any logical explanation we could think up for this place would probably be more frightening than what we already think.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You know, we should just forget about the whole thing. Chalk it up to experience and go home.
Listen, do you hear something outside?
Yeah.
Like a car engine?
2 cars just pulled up. We better get out of here.
Why?
Well, I mean, the 2 of us being alone, we could be trespassing.
I didn't think about that.
Well, luckily our car's in the garage. We could probably hide and they'd never know we were here.
You know what I was about to tell you, big lummox?
Sorry.
See? I told you it's empty.
It appears that no one has lived here for years.
Oh, no, Miss Coonsy, it's not that bad.
No one has lived here for years. Oh, sometimes a bum or a teenager sneaks in. But nobody owns or takes care of it.
I don't know how this property could have escaped our attention for so long.
Well, it's sort of out of the way. I only brought it to the county's attention because I thought the land ought to be used for something useful instead of just sitting around.
And we're very much in your gratitude, Mr. Washington. There haven't been any property taxes paid on this land in over 19 years.
If it hadn't been for you, Mr. Washington, it might have been another 19 years.
Yeah, I know the government's a little slow and needs all the help it can get.
But once we discover a wrong, Mr. Washington, it is quickly righted. Sheriff, could you show these people around while we discuss business?
Sheriff, come on, take me too,
No,
Sheriff.
no, wait on me.
We would like to sell this land to you right away, Mr. Washington, but unfortunately there are a few details to be worked out first.
Yes, Mr. Darrow and I must first determine if there are any real owners or not.
But I told you already. Ain't no one lived in this house for years.
Yeah, you got a hearing problem or something there?
We realize that, Mr. Washington, but that doesn't mean there aren't any owners. And if there are owners, we have to give them a chance to pay the back taxes before the county can take over the property.
And if there ain't no owners?
Then the county can, of course, claim the land and sell it to you.
Cheap.
Well, at less than market value.
Never bought a market for. How much is one of them darn things anyway?
It shouldn't be too high on this place anyway.
What's your estimation of this dump, Mrs. Norton?
What's the market value, I suppose, compared to present ratings?
Well, according to my experience as a government broker, this property is in a poor location. Plus, it's worth even less with this dilapidated old house here.
Of course, this hideous old house will have to be torn down. It's obviously in too bad a condition to be repaired. Wouldn't you say, Mr. Darrow?
Undoubtedly, Mrs. Kniesy.
Well, that's what I've been wanting to do. Ain't nothing I need with this old rat trap. Why, I was gonna tear it down and put me up a miniature golf course.
A miniature golf course!
A miniature golf course.
Sure. And what's wrong with the miniature golf course?
Nothing, I suppose, if you like the bells and sirens and orange golf balls.
Well, we like bells, sirens, and orange golf balls.
Orange?
Yes, Mr. Washington, I can imagine you people would. I believe I've seen enough, Mr. Darrow.
I believe I have too, Mrs. Kniesy. It will take us about a week to check on the question of ownership, Mr. Washington. We'll call you and let you know what we turn up.
You ain't gonna turn up nothing. This house is deserted with a capital D.
And we'll call you anyway, Mr. Washington, so you can start buying those orange balls for that miniaturized bowling alley of yours.
That's a golf course, not a dang bowling alley.
Excuse me, Mr. Washington, I forgot. My neighbors have one of those in the basement.
Don't take it personal, Miss Kniesy. Just I like golfing better than I do bowling.
Did you hear that?
No, I was sitting here with my ears shut. Of course I heard it. What are we gonna do?
I don't know, but Lucy and whoever or whatever her friends are, they're going to be out on the street if they aren't careful.
We can't let that happen. We'll have to find Lucy and tell her. But we really don't know where they go during the day.
And I, for one, don't really care to know where they go. I'm still leery about this place and its so-called tenants. But we can't just desert them, can we?
Of course not. We'll have to come back tonight.
Okay, we'll come back tonight then.
Come back tonight?
You're not scared, are you?
Who, me? Yeah.
Well, don't be. I mean, maybe tonight we can solve the mystery of who these people really are.
Well, if they're really ghosts, then shouldn't they be able to take care of themselves?
I don't think there's much a ghost can do against a bulldozer. If that old geezer gets his hands on this place, he's going to tear it down.
Well, he's not going to. You come back tonight and you can tell him.
Oh, no. We're in this together, and we're coming back together.
Oh, so you're scared too?
Cautious.
Sure, okay, King Kong. I'll come back tonight. But tell me, have you decided to take this job yet?
No, I'm still considering the pros and cons.
But you are coming back tonight?
Of course. I'll meet you in the driveway after dark.
Tell me, just between the two of us, how did they get our cars into the garage?
Just between the two of us, I don't know.
As long as they didn't chip my new paint job.
Ghosts, no doubt, never chip the paint. After you, madam.
No, thank you. I prefer to go last. Well, Lucy, wherever, whoever, and whatever you are, see you tonight.
Mommy, Daddy, I wonder if that hot grape and 5 heart attacks are going to be at the haunting hour tonight.
What's your mouth, Missy? You're too young to be talking like that.
Oh, you two hush up. It's like Heloise and Andrew.
Maybelle, did you hear Lady Smedley yelling at that husband of hers again this morning?
Yes, wasn't it somebody who barks on Heloise again?
Lord, she's a century younger than him, and he's that much bigger around than her.
I know it. I always make fun of this. See, button up that porthole. They ain't very mad whole iceberg, mate. Little long with a little porthole. Come on, Herman. Come on.
Everyone is so dead, and everyone can be fun.
Haunting hour be good to us.
Yes, but more fun on reservation.
love me.
I do too. Look, you come here. I'll teach you how to swing.
Whoa. The vibes here are unreal.
Your Majesty, will this seat be okay?
I guess.
I'm bored. I demand to be entertained.
Young lady, this isn't Buckingham Palace.
Hey, Queenie, take a trip back to Woodstock to prove the real dead.
You worry anymore. Cause when life looks like easy street, there is danger at your door. Think this through with me. Let me know your mind.
Whoa, sisters, that was really mellow.
Enough of this. This is awful. I demand some real entertainment.
Come on, Queen, chill out.
If you want some real entertainment, listen to Pop Heart Attack.
Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you so. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will.
Is that the best you can do?
One, two, three. You know I can't be found, bop, bop, sitting home all alone, bop, bop. If you can't come around, bop, please telephone. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Baby, if I made you mad, bop, sometime I say, bop, bop, please let's forget the past, bop. The future looks bright ahead, and don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love, baby, it's just you I'm thinking of. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love, baby, it's just you I'm thinking of.
Teaching Jones, the midnight hour is on. Let us begin to hunt. Friends, Romans, countrymen,
There will now be a 15-minute intermission.
get me to a snack bar!
Never did you learn to play chess, Tennyson. The queen can move back and forth and diagonally, but not to run in circles.
But why not? Who can explain the queen's motivation? Perhaps to her that which is a circle is not all-inclusive, perhaps not round. Perhaps to her that which is round is not a circle. Perhaps to her a straight line is not the shortest distance between 2 points. Perhaps it is the longest distance. Perhaps to her straight is an ambiguous term perceived only by her. Perhaps to her...
Enough already, all right. You can move around in circles, but don't do it too often.
And then what? And then what, Miss Cersei? Then what's gonna happen to me?
Well, your lifeline is, of course, relatively short. Yet, I perceive great riches. Perhaps not in money or gold. More likely in an object or possession of great value.
Yahoo! I'm gonna go and get a horse! I'm gonna get a horse!
A man in passion rides a mad horse.
Sit down, you big lump. She probably didn't mean a horse. She probably meant a yacht or something. Didn't you, Cersei?
I don't know what I meant. It could be a horse. It could be anything. I was a great witch, but lousy fortune teller.
Well, I can't have a horse. Please tell me I'll get rid of these dang engines. My pappy knew we had engines under the same roof. Well, he'd have a hissy fit. I want a horse so bad, though, I can taste it.
Oh, so that's what you want it for.
That ain't such a bad idea as it sounds. Boy, what I give right now for a thick, juicy steak sizzling over an open fire.
Ah, yes, man cannot live by dead alone.
Keep your fingers crossed, Tex. Maybe instead of a horse, you'll get a cow.
So, my dear, what shall we do tonight?
I just don't know. Things are so dead down in Devonshire this time of year.
Then we should fit right in.
Your jokes should fit right in.
Darn it, Tennyson, you can't move a pawn 6 spaces.
Perhaps to the pawn, 6 spaces are not a number, but an equation. An insignificant quantity, which in reality connotes...
You're beating me anyway, Tennyson. What on earth do you want to move a pawn 6 spaces for?
To prolong the game. If I were to move that particular piece just one, your sovereign would be in great danger, or as in the terminology of the game, checkmate.
I wanted to play checkers anyway.
However, were I to move that particular piece 6, your horse person would be in an ideal location to trample him under.
Do you know how to play checkers, Tennyson?
And in fact, even were I not to move that particular piece and were to move the any other, end result would be the same. In short, Andrew, the only way for you to win is if I stop moving altogether.
How about dominoes? Do you know how to play dominoes?
But I was so enjoying this game and learning so much, I hate to discontinue it.
You died too soon, Tennyson. You could have made a fortune in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas? Is that another game?
No. It's a city with the lights stare on 24 hours a day.
That must be very hard on the lamplighter.
It's hard on everybody.
I say, Henry, isn't the Wilkinson's anniversary next week?
I don't know. Let me think about it for a moment. Who are the Wilkinsons?
Impossible! The Wilkinsons were carrying 5 seats on the Titanic.
Oh, yes, that nice elderly couple who had to God save the Queen because their dentures floated out the porthole. A bad bit of luck that was.
But if you remember correctly, we didn't have such good luck either.
Whatever do you mean?
We died.
Oh, yes, that. But at least our teeth didn't end up on some beach in Greenland. Oh, good evening, Miss LaRue.
I don't know what's so good about the wind that would ruin my hair.
Ghosts are supposed to like the wind lavender. It whistles very nicely to their bones.
It may sound nicer in your bones, Andrew, because most of your bones are in your head. I believe I'll wear my green gown tonight. Would you please take it out of the mothballs?
Begging your pardon, ma'am, but I think the moths already took it out.
Well, then you'll just have to return to my old estate in Hollywood and collect a few of my old gowns.
Begging your pardon, ma'am, but Ozzy collected your old estate with big green stamps. They turned it into a supermarket last month. Is there no more style? No more elegance in this world? Oh.
You're lucky you died before sound Aries came in, my dear, I'm afraid you wouldn't have lasted very long.
Huh. Do I detect a note of professional jealousy? Why, you were dead before they were printing presses.
Now, children, let's not fight, shall we? Cersei's telling our fortunes, aren't you, Cersei?
Yes, but it's rather difficult with people who have no future. I would have better luck if I told the fortunes of all of us, of the entire household.
Yeah, Cersei, do that.
Yeah, what's gonna happen to all of us?
Well, cut the cards, Eloise.
Shouldn't Lucy do it? I mean, it's her house and all.
Anyone may do it, as long as we are all present and all thinking the same thing. Now cut the cards, Eloise, or I will have them cut themselves.
Oh, okay, we'll do that. I'll do it. Okay, there.
Eloise, you amaze me. You know what on earth does a ghost have to be scared of?
Being a ghost all the rest of her life. Death, I mean. Ugh.
That's something to be scared of, all right.
Do you really think you can foresee that, Cersei?
No, but one can always try.
Cersei, you're totally spiritual.
Yeah, I always wanted to know what my fortune would be.
Come on, Cersei, turn the card.
The 7 of clubs.
A change. A change is coming upon this house.
What kind of change?
The King of Spades.
A grave change. A large change.
How soon?
Who will bring it?
To the hearts.
Two kind people. Two kind people will affect our lives.
Like the two that hit us night?
But it's obvious they're not coming back. We scared them nearly out of their wits.
But they still might come back.
I have one more card to turn up. The Ace of Spades! The death card. I can expect little else. Whatever is going to happen, death is involved. For the living, it's a very unfortunate card. For us, it may be a godsend.
Can we come in?
Of course, children. We were expecting you. I'm getting a little tired of being expected places nobody knows I'm going.
Would you like your cars put in the garage?
No, thank you, Andrew. We put them in ourselves.
I think my insurance ran out anyway.
Cersei was just telling our fortunes. Perhaps you'd like to... We didn't come here for fun and games. We came to warn you about something very serious.
That's right, Lucy. You're going to lose this place if you aren't careful. When we were leaving this morning and no one was well to be seen, a farmer who lives down the road and some government agents were here. They were talking about tearing this place down because the property taxes haven't been paid in so long.
The what?
Property taxes. You mercifully died before they came along.
But wait a minute. Why should we have to pay property taxes? I mean, aren't we dead?
Honey, in this day and age, nothing can be said for certain except for death and taxes.
And I guess what they say is true. You can't take it with you, but the government sure can.
Yes, I don't quite understand. I'm the last owner, and like Eloise said, I thought I was dead. Well, you are. I mean, that's not the problem. You may be dead and gone, but the taxes still live on, and the new owners have to pay them. But there are no new owners, and I didn't leave a will, and I didn't have any relatives. None living, that is.
Well, that's besides the point, Lucy. You can't just leave land to nobody, even if you are a ghost. You still have to pay your taxes.
Why, that's preposterous, taxing ghosts. You Americans started a war because we were taxing tea.
Now, Henry, in those days, we didn't know about ghosts, so we'd probably tax them too.
Oh, it's not you personally that's being taxed, it's the land. The county will gladly leave you alone once they get their money.
They sure are greedy, aren't they? How much do you suppose they'll want? Well, it could be a couple $1,000. A couple of thousand? Is that
we got that and then some.
What Tex is trying to say is that we were rather well fixed financially.
That's right, fair damsel. The combined sum of our individual stashes is a rather formidable amount.
Yeah, we're loaded.
What everyone is trying to say, my darling, is that we have lots and lots of money.
For a moment there, you gave us quite a start, my dear.
You mean you've got money?
Well, what do you think we are, honey? A bunch of deadbeats?
Of course we got money.
Where did you get it? We didn't rob no bank, if that's what you're meaning. We came by plenty honest.
I mean, yeah, like us, it was buried. Perhaps I should explain. When we lived, it was customary and often wise to bury a bit of our savings in the backyard.
Or stash it under a loose board.
Or behind a brick.
Or make it disappear altogether.
Well, anyway, we were all lucky enough to have hidden away some of our money, with the exception of Mr. Tenderson.
I never made any.
That must have been very difficult for you.
Oh, no, it was easy.
All of our money together totals well over millions of dollars, I believe. That's a lot of bread.
No, my dear, that's dollars, not bread.
Now, Henry, what with inflation, perhaps that's what they use now.
We were planning on paying your salaries out of that, but we could still well afford to pay another $2,000 or $3,000.
Well, so you've got the money, fine. But who's going to pay it? We can't pay it, we're not the owners. And you can't pay it, you're a ghost. It's got a point there, Lucy. Not only, it's very discriminatory, but ghosts aren't allowed to own anything these days.
Oh, the terrible trials and tribulations of those wishing to be left alone.
Who said that?
I did, just now.
Why, I got it. Can we send it to them anonymously, without them knowing who sent it?
Well, they investigate something like that, find no owners, and still take over the place. No, we definitely have to have an owner.
But how?
Maybe if we, no. But perhaps if there was a, no.
But couldn't we? No, we couldn't.
Hey, partner, how about? No.
On the other hand, there's always...
Oh.
What?
Then you give us something so simple to do, and they make it all complicated.
That wasn't simple running into each other like that. It required expert timing and precision. I'd like to see you do it.
I'm sure you would, Andy.
Now, children, let's not fight. Our whole world may be falling down on top of us.
Well, my head felt like it already done failed.
That's it, Lucy. There's no more we can do without an owner.
But it shouldn't be that difficult to give away a perfectly good house, should it?
But before you can give it away, you have to prove that it's yours. But of course, it's mine.
Well, you know it, and we know it. But does the average Joe Blow know it? I don't think anybody average knows it.
What?
So as I see, what we're looking for is someone to... Okay. Well, really, this man is quite disturbing. As I was saying... What I think we're looking for is someone to claim to be the owner. That would work. It would have to be somebody who's convincing, who can look, act, and feel the part, and lie through his teeth without anyone knowing it. You don't happen to know anyone like that, do you?
I assume you mean me? I assume you think I would be suited for this difficult and dangerous role? With my phenomenal and virtually unlimited range as an actor, I no doubt would be.
Oh, brother.
Oh, and perhaps you think you could have said better.
I don't know about us saying it, but I could definitely play it better. Though I am, of course, presently in retirement.
In your spot, I should hope so.
Look, you can both play it. It would look much better to have a couple anyway. You could pretend to be a long-lost branch of Lucy's family.
Yeah, Lucy's nephew or something, who went off and married and lived in the wilds of Borneo for 20 years.
A missionary!
Now that's carrying things too far. Well, something
Lady
along that
Smedley
line.
and I, we have a great many jungle clothes. Perhaps we could fix you into something that looked fairly authentic.
Well, it's not up to the magnitude of my usual roles, but perhaps I could accept it for a single engagement.
If I get to wear leopard skin, I'll do it.
Oh my, I don't believe I have a leopard skin.
Just once, Lav. You can do it without the leopard skin.
All right, but I must have the final approval of the director.
On the script.
There'll be no director and no script. You'll just have to fake everything.
But I never work extemporaneously.
What do you think this is? Cecil B. DeMille's 10 Commandments? You're supposed to be an actor.
But I am an actor.
Well, then behave like one and act.
To be or not to be?
Not now.
I thought maybe it was an audition.
I don't see any problem there, but I am worried about something else. Without a will, how do we prove that they're the true heirs?
Well, couldn't we make up a will? I mean, couldn't I?
I don't see why not. The will have an authentic signature on it. That is, you still can't write your name, can't you?
What do you think, young man, that our votes are completely good for nothing? I can sign my name as well now as I could the day I died.
Then it's all settled.
Wait a moment. I can foresee just one small problem.
Oh.
Under our contract with the Ghost Union, we are powerless and invisible off the estate.
Not only that, but we're never around during the day.
And just where do you go? Where do you go?
Go, my dear. We don't go anywhere, we just simply aren't.
There still must be a way we can pull this off.
Perhaps if I put a small curse on them.
We can invite them over. That would be the neighborly thing to do. Or we can put an ad in the paper. What'd you say, my dear? Nothing, nothing.
She said, or put an ad in the paper, which is not such a bad idea. We could put the ad in saying the peaceful rest was for sale.
No! Goodness, no!
Not really. Just to make the government people curious. I'm sure they'd investigate something like that.
And then they can meet Lavender and Willoughby and see the will.
And maybe even a few of the rest of you could pretend to be prospective buyers.
Do you really think they'll buy it? I mean, with a will and all?
I don't see why not. It will have an authentic signature on it. They could even take it to the courthouse and check it with documents Lucy has previously signed.
And Lavender and Willoughby can pay the back taxes and everything will be fine.
If I might be allowed, I'd like to run over the scenario just one time for the record. Okay, first, Lucy makes out a fictitious will leaving everything to these bogus people in Borneo.
And dating it 20 years ago.
Yes, it would mess up their records too much that they go for writing wills. Then we put an ad in the paper saying we're selling the peaceful rest.
That should be sufficient bait, but we must make sure to tell them not to come until after dark.
That goes without saying. Then, after the farmer and his cohorts appear, Lavender and I will make our entrance.
Saying you've lived in the wilds of Borneo for 20 years and have only now returned to claim your inheritance.
And what, may I ask, have we been doing in the wilds of Borneo for 20 years?
In the wilds of Borneo for 20 years, you haven't been doing much.
You can say you owned a tin mine.
A tin mine? All right. Then along with a few of our colleagues, pretending to be prospective buyers, we generally cajole, fooey, huff and puff our way past these thick-souled government people. Then do we pay them? Well,
I guess that would work, but you had to pay them after they saw the will.
Yes. Oh, I wish I could call Willie to write us something.
Willie who?
Shakespeare, of course.
Oh, brother. All this sounds much too simple to work.
Come down, Lavender. Sometimes the simplest things work best.
Yes, take your brain, for example.
Come now, Lavender. You really should try to be a little friendlier after all. We are all in this together.
Unfortunately.
You mean you don't like it here?
Oh, she doesn't mean that, miss. We like it here much better than where we were before.
Who wouldn't in the basement of Brahms Chinese Theater? Oh, butts everywhere.
Oh, really, miss, we like it here much better. We just rather not be here.
Where would you rather be?
I think, speaking for all of us, we'd much rather be anywhere, particularly where dead people go who aren't ghosts.
You see, being a ghost is not a privilege. It is a punishment. Each and every one of us died very violent deaths, and all because of some mistake that each of us made.
That's very sad.
Oh, you know it, sweetie. But if it hadn't been for that dumb party Andy and I went to, we might be sitting on some cloud somewhere, strumming a guitar.
I think they play harps, baby cakes.
Oh, well,
I don't care if they play banjos. This is where we're stuck, so we might as well make the best of it.
Okay, someone find an old piece of paper?
It's the only kind of paper we've got.
Here. You need a pen too?
No, thank you. I think I have one.
Here, Miss Lucy, you can use our tape.
Oh. Well, what should I write?
Being of sound mind and body,
Being of sound mind, but body?
you're gonna have to lie a little bit, Lucy.
But it's for a good cause. I'll have you know, I haven't told a lie in 87 years. Well, then you're long overdue. Being of sound mind and body, I, Lucy Hedgepepper, do hereby.
Come along, Henry. Let's show Miss LaRue and Mr. Willoughby what we have in the way of costumes.
I've seen some of her clothes. They really are costumes.
Huh?
Yes, let's all see what we have. I was a perfect size 38, Colonel.
Oh my, the colour's much larger than that. But I think I wear perfect size 38.
What a shout!
Bright and early tomorrow morning, I'll put an ad in the paper for the first of next week.
And we can send an anonymous copy to Zeke Washington.
What kind of copy?
Anonymous?
Oh, that's the word!
Well, I guess everything is ready. Did you put the ad in the paper?
Have you got the wheel?
Oh, it's behind the desk. I put it there. Willoughby knows where it is. What about the ad?
Oh, I put it in the paper, and it came out this morning.
Well, what about Mr. Washington?
Oh, he knows about it. I personally delivered a copy to his door. And just to make sure I call that pretending to be a prospective buyer, he'll go running to those tax people for sure.
Well, I don't guess there's much more we can do.
You know, for someone who doesn't believe in ghosts, you're going to an awful lot of trouble.
Well, I feel so sorry for them. I mean, being stuck in this nether world, you're neither dead nor alive. It's like waiting for exam scores.
No kidding. Well, you're more or less the director of our little production, so what parts did you assign everyone?
Well, as you know, Willoughby and Lavender are the stars. Andrew and Eloise are playing a pair of prospective buyers. Tennyson is a messenger for Western Union, and Lucy, she's our technical advisor.
Well, what about us?
Oh, I ham at heart, huh? You and I are going to act like ghosts and disappear.
And the world loses a great actress.
You'll survive. I just hope everybody else remembers what they're supposed to do.
Well, don't you think they will?
I don't know. We had a little rehearsal last night, and it's looking pretty rough. Lavender keeps mouthing her lines and acting as if she's going to be tied to a railroad track at any minute. And Willoughby, he says he can't perform without trumpets or swords.
Oh, my goodness. Well, what about the bit players?
Don't even ask. Andrew keeps getting into arguments with Lavender. Eloise can't remember her name, let alone her lines. And Tennyson, the way he talks, they're going to think he's bringing messages from a foreign planet.
Well, there was something else I was thinking about but was afraid to mention. This ad's running in a lot of papers, so suppose some real prospective buyers show up?
Lord help them.
Well, the sun should be down in just a few minutes.
Then let's get out of here. I don't want to be anywhere around when the fireworks go off.
But we are coming back, aren't we?
Only when it's over.
I could have sworn they came this way. Thought you had something to ask them. Yeah, I guess it'll keep. I was going to ask them if I was supposed to be some kind of buyer or some kind of ghost or what. Ain't nobody tell me. Anybody tell y'all? Didn't tell me nothing. Oh, well.
Excuse me, are you the owner?
No, she ain't here right now. She ain't gonna be here till later when some people are... Holy Ghost! I mean, a cow! You ain't, I ain't... We ain't supposed to be here yet.
What are you talking about?
Holy cow!
What do you mean, holy cow? Did you or did you not put this ad in the newspaper?
Well, I did. No, I did. Not alone I didn't. Well, I did, but I didn't.
Just what do you mean?
Oh, I don't mean nothing.
I'll catch you making talk, Mr. Newsy.
How dare you chase around in my house?
Where'd that feller go?
What fella?
That feller has a big ugly and he's right over there.
He's unimportant. You're the one who put the ad in the paper, I presume?
Yes, I'm the owner of the the Peach Blossom Retirement Home. But we decided not to sell, so if you have another business, you may leave.
Just a minute, miss. We do have other business if you are, in fact, the owner of this property.
Are you insinuating I may not be?
She can't be.
Oh, shut up! You see,
Mrs.?
All right, Mrs.
That's correct.
Yes, you see, madam, we have reason to believe there's no owner of this property.
Well, you had better find reason to believe something else then.
But you see, Madam, Mr. Darren up in the County Bureau of Taxes, and our records show that the owner of this property has been long since deceased.
Well, perhaps it's those records that have been long since deceased.
I don't think so, ma'am. Lucy Hedgepepper.
Oh, you mean my husband's dear Aunt Lucy. Yes, fortunately for your records, she is long since deceased.
But our records show Miss Hedgepepper as having no living relatives.
But she wasn't really my husband's aunt. She only raised him as a squalling child. But, you had better talk to my husband about that. Here he comes now. Here he comes now. I said, here he comes now!
There you are, my darling. Try to stick to your lines. I see we have visitors.
We're not really visitors.
Oh, you come down to our ad in the paper. Wonderful.
No, I said...
We're sorry. We've decided to keep the peaceful rest. Isn't that right, dear?
Oh, brother?
I said, isn't that right, dear?
Yes, darling.
Excuse me, Mrs. Whatever. Did you ever... Your face looks remarkably familiar to me. Do you by any chance have a criminal record?
Indeed. Maybe a few old parties, but never a criminal record.
But you look so familiar to me. I know I've seen you somewhere before.
Please, Mr. Darrell, we didn't come here to make small talk.
Oh, you were asking about my dear Aunt Lucy, weren't you?
Seriously, it will come to me. I know I've seen you somewhere before. You were never at the municipal employees annual picnic, were you?
Can't you see these people's crack?
You shut up. Come now, Mr. Darrell. Try to remember what we came here for.
Enough of this nonsense!
We have more important million-dollar properties to look at.
I know. It was at the Fireman's Harvest Moon Ball.
Yes, Aunt Lucy was a fine old lady, salt of the earth. And when my mother died, before I was born, while I was still quite young, she took me into a humble, ramshackle home to feed me and clothe me and teach me Greek and Latin.
Greek and Latin?
All that we know is pig Latin. I remember one time our grandpa, God rest his soul, gave us advice in pig Latin. You remember that, Jethro? Yeah, he said, Onte, ate, eloge, onse.
What in the tarnation does that mean?
Don't eat yellow snow.
We danced the tango.
And it was while I was away in Borneo that dear old lady, fire of my soul, mother and father I never knew, departed from this torment of life forever.
For 20 years?
Will you shut up?
Where could it have been?
What could what have been?
I've got it! You're... But that's impossible. You'd have to be at least... Did anyone ever tell you you look like a certain movie star?
A movie star?
Yes, but of course it's not possible. That was too long ago, in the days of my youth.
Oh, but dude, tell me more. This movie star, was she very famous?
Yes, she was very famous. Well, you're probably too young to remember her. It was in the days of the silence.
I wouldn't be too sure about that. Tell me, this movie star, was she very beautiful?
Lavender!
Oddly enough, that was her name, too. Yes, she was very beautiful, at least to a 12-year-old boy.
To bigger boys, too, I'm sure.
Now what were you saying about some taxes?
Taxes. Oh, you mean you already know about those?
Well, me, Mr. Darrell, and I were talking. Okay, I bet this movie star was a brilliant actress.
Oh, I don't know about that. She was rather corny, if you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, she did have something. Presence, sex appeal, whatever you want to call it.
You wouldn't by any chance remember her full name, would you?
Of course I would. Who could possibly forget the immortal Lavender Nirvana?
Lavender Nirvana! That'll make a mouth! Do you remember Lavender Nirvana? You swine!
Take it easy, y'all. Nobody's gonna hurt you. Nobody means you any harm. Who are you?
Me, I'm nobody in particular, just a common bystander standing by.
We too are just a little interested in buying this lovely rural-type household.
Sister, don't minute. Did you say you was buying this here house?
Yes, I'm thinking about using it to put up a miniature golf course.
A miniature golf course? Why, you snaking the great...
Hold on, what's going on here? A few nights ago, this house was deserted. Now it's full of people throwing things at each other.
Well, now that's better than being deserted, isn't it?
And you, Mr. Whoever you are, if you are the owner of this joint, you better have plenty of proof to back you up. Then you owe us money.
How much?
How much, Mr. Darrow?
$2,463.72.
Is that all? 2,464. You may keep the change.
Why, these bills were printed in 1925.
That was a very good year for money.
Yes, but how did you get such old bills?
If you like, we have Confederate money.
No, I just can't see where you got these old bills.
Well, the banks in Borneo were slightly behind the times.
Slightly.
Don't we even get a receipt?
I believe somebody's knocking on your door.
Oh, no, that's only the termites.
Termites?
They certainly have polite termites, don't they?
That doesn't sound like any termite I ever heard. If you don't answer that door, I'll get it.
I'll get it.
We saw you ad in the paper.
Nobody's there.
There's somebody out there, and there's some fish going on. I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. Last thing I... Come on in.
We saw you ad in the paper.
We're sorry the house is no longer for sale.
Just a minute, why not?
Because it isn't.
Because they want to steal my idea about the golf course.
Shut up!
Get them.
I'm sorry, but there's some guy, the true ownership of this property, Mr. Darrow and I from the County Bureau of Taxes, and come out of there, Mr. Darrow.
We're not interested in a miniature golf course. What we want is this house.
Telegraph from Borneo.
Look out, fool! What company do you work for?
What company? Western U-Turn. You mean Western Union, don't you, messenger? Oh, yes, it's quite possible I do. Anyway, the telegraph. Telegram. Telegram. The telegram is for the Willoughbys of Bora Bora, Borneo, from the Royal Borneo Anthracite Asbestos Bank.
The what?
I thought that name had a nice ring to it.
Give that to me, you name!
Is it saved yet?
Oh, my darling, something terrible's happened!
What is it, my love?
We must return to Borneo at once!
Why?
The mine is on fire! I just said that!
But we'd sort of like to see the house if it wouldn't be too much.
But how can a mine be on fire?
Well, you look here. Now be quiet. Quickly, somebody call me a cab! Oh, hurry! Somebody call me a cab.
Okay, you're a cab. more for the toilet.
Oh, wait a minute. How can we call a cab if we don't have a telephone?
Mrs. Canuzzi?
These people are cracked, I tell you.
Shut up! John, ask him about the plumbing.
Mrs. Canuzzi?
I think I'm gonna scream.
Quickly, somebody help me! I
Hell your cab!
Maybe we should come back some other time.
Nobody's putting up a miniature a miniature golf course here but me.
Will you shut up? Tell them we can't pay more than $15,000.
But we must return the body at once!
Yes!
We can't pay more than that.
What a racket!
Mrs. Canuzzi? Mrs. Canuzzi! I've just found something back here. It appears
Don't
to be
bother me now, or what?
a will. It appears to be the last will and testament of Miss Lucy Hedgepepper.
Ah, yes, I was just coming to that.
You see here, it's stated only a month before Miss Hedgepepper's death.
But can we be sure it's authentic?
Why don't you take it to the courthouse and have them check out the signature?
Why don't we take it to the courthouse and check out the signature?
Yes, I suppose we could take it to the courthouse, couldn't we?
I don't see why not.
I don't see why not.
What about my golf course?
Oh, go on your own property. You can use the pigs and chickens as caddies.
That's it. I ain't leaving here till I get some satisfaction.
Well, neither are we. Tell them, John.
We're not leaving here till.
That's exactly right. Satisfaction's what I mean, and I ain't leaving till I get some.
Heloise, go tell Lady Smedley that the Colonel and I were up all night playing poker.
But that's not true. We were charged.
Tell her that he lost 20 pounds.
Oh, she'll be awfully angry.
Slip it to her gently.
What was that all about?
You'll see.
Listen here. We came here in good faith answering this ad in the newspaper. And if we don't get a chance to see this house, we're going to sue all of you for false advertising. Tell them, John.
Them's is my sentiments exactly. We've been boxed in, built, and bamboozled long enough. This old lady's got her head screwed on right.
But you don't want this house, neither one of you.
No. Why?
Because it's haunted.
M.O.I.'s tales.
We thought the same thing, but then, we found out.
Found out what?
That it was haunted.
That's ridiculous.
I think we've seen enough for now, Mrs. Canuzzi.
Are you sure, Mr.
Yes, I'm quite sure.
I think we better come back some other time.
Oh, John, are you going to be scared away by a few measly sound effects? Tell them we demand our rights.
We demand. It's been very pleasant.
You ain't gonna fool me with them old corny moaning and groaning. You got that on record.
Mr. Washington! I can see you're a realistic man, correct?
Yeah, that's what I am, all right. Realistic.
Then you would not be scared unless you saw something realistic.
That's about the size of it.
Well then, why don't we turn out the lights?
Turn them off, I don't...
Mr. Washington! Mr. Washington! Oh, he left before I could show him anything.
It was probably a good thing.
Who cares how he's left as long as he's left?
Hooray, we won! Thank God for the Smedleys.
I say, where's Lucy?
Here I am, my goodness, what a stellar, stunning performance!
Thank you, I was rather magnificent.
Not just you, Bonzo. She means all of us.
Actually, I think it was the Smedley's fight and Andrew's quick thinking to save the day.
It wasn't just me. Hey, we're the two mortals. Lynn and Jim.
Well,
We have much of this to them. I'll go get them.
Andrew, wait one just minute before you go and get them. I've come to a very important decision, and I've already told the others, and now I want to tell you.
It sounds important.
It is. Remember when we put all of our money together, and you entrusted it to me to do with it as I saw fit?
Yes?
Yes?
Well, I think I finally found something fit to do with it. We really don't need a desk clerk. I was only being selfish and lazy.
And since we've paid off the back taxes and we really don't have any other need for it, I was just thinking.
Lucy, if you want to give the money to Lynn and Jim to help them pay for their education, I don't think you'll get an argument from any of us.
Definitely not. Why, if it wasn't for their kindness and willingness to help, we wouldn't even have this home.
I think, Lucy, speaking for all of us, there's nowhere we'd rather see the money go.
Well, thank you, all of you.
Don't just thank us. We wish that there was more that we could do.
Make sure you give it all to them. The whole kip and cadoodle, or whatever you call it.
Really?
Well, I want to go tell the others.
You do that. Where are they? Where is Lynn and Jim? I don't know where they could be.
I have no idea. I have not seen them.
Weren't we expecting them earlier?
No, I don't believe so, but they should come back.
With the way people knock on the doors of this house, you never... Who could that be?
I say, isn't it women to answer it?
I'm afraid to.
So am I. Tennyson, you answer it.
Why me?
Because whoever it is, we know you'll confuse them.
Who is it? Who is it?
Well, there's absolutely nobody here. I suppose it could have been... What's this? Well, I believe it's a telegraph.
Really?
And besides, Tennyson, we already did that telegraph bit.
But seriously, I believe it is a telegraph. I mean, telegram.
Well, read it.
It says, Dear residents, Peaceful Rest Retirement Home.
Where's it from?
I'm coming to that.
Please, Mr. Tennyson, do go on.
Dear residents, Peaceful Rest Retirement Home, due to your kind and extraordinary generosity... What kind of extraordinary generosity?
Just read the letter, Tennyson. Maybe you'll find out.
Good idea, Andrew. Due to your kind and extraordinary generosity, specifically the giving up of all your earthly wealth to two needy, deserving mortals, we, the Exalted Union of Ghosts, do hereby absolve you of all your earthly mistakes, and forthwith allow you to cease your hunting and join your brethren in the greater beyond. Action to take place immediately. Signed, the Exalted Union of Ghosts.
Hooray!
This is magnificent!
Lucy, do you know what this means?
I don't know what to say.
Oh, I know what to say. Come on, let's go get him.
Yes, please.
Do we have to leave right now?
Lucy, don't tell me you want to stick around.
Of course she doesn't. Come on, Lucy, let's go.
But what about Lynn and Jim?
Well, can't you leave them a note or something?
Well, I did leave a note in the chest.
Well, then that'll be enough. Let's go.
Attention, everyone. Ghost, come quickly. Come quickly.
Come on, everybody, let's go. Hurry up, Is everybody here? Come on.
Attention, everyone. Attention. We should be ghosts for only a few moments longer. And then after that, we're never going to see this house again.
This old house is getting shaky, this old house is getting old. This old house that's in the rain, this old house that's in the cold. On my knees I'm getting chilly, but I feel no fear to pain. 'Cause I see an angel peeking through a broken window pane. Ain't gonna need this house no longer, ain't gonna need this house no more. Ain't got time to fix the shingles, ain't got time to fix the floor. Ain't got time to hold hinges or to mend the window panes. Ain't gonna need this house no longer, I'm getting ready to meet the saints. This old house is afraid of thunder, this old house is afraid of storm. This old house just groans and trembles when the night wind flings its arms. This old house is getting feeble, this old house is needing paint. Just like me, it's tuckered out, but I'm getting ready to meet the saints. Ain't gonna need this house no longer, ain't gonna need this house no more. Ain't got time to fix the shingles, ain't got time to fix the floor. Ain't got time to hold hinges or to mend the window panes. Ain't gonna need this house no longer, I'm getting ready to meet the saints.
Okay, Willoughby, do you think you can do your turning out the light trick just one more time?
Certainly. So, for my final ghostly act,
I heard their voices in here. I could have sworn they were
Well, you know how they are. They do get around pretty fast. But the government people aren't here, and Mr. Washington, you know, our good friend. Well, I guess everything went all right.
But still it's not, and they should be around here somewhere. I hope nothing went wrong.
I'll go check upstairs.
Wait! What's this?
Just an old chest.
But where did it come from? It's not locked. Do you suppose we could open it?
Be careful, it could be Pandora's box.
Well, I guess if you believe in ghosts, you can believe in anything. It's full of money!
What? That's incredible.
It's more money than I've ever seen, or even dreamt of seeing.
You know, that must be the millions the ghosts saved before they died.
Look, there's also a note. Dear Lynn and Jim, I didn't want to present this to you in person because I knew you tried to refuse it. But I've talked to the others, and we all want you to have it. We don't really need the money, nor do we need a desk clerk to do our work for us, but you need an education. With sincere love and gratitude, Lucy.
Well, we can't keep it.
I know. We'll just have to find Lucy and give it back to her.
What else can we do?
I don't know. I feel so guilty, like we coerced her into giving it to us.
Wait, there's another note.
They're so sweet. I feel so awful about the money. What's the matter?
Read that.
Oh, dear residents, blah, blah, blah. Due to your kind and extraordinary, to needy, deserving mortals, do hereby absolve you and join your brethren in the greater beyond, immediately exalted union of ghosts? What's that mean?
That means if we haven't already long gone crazy and imagined this whole thing, well, the ghosts, they're no longer ghosts.
Well, what are they then?
I guess what people are when they normally die.
Well, after the funeral fees and the lawyer expenses, they're usually broke.
Well, I don't guess there's anyone to give this back to now.
Should we go and look for them?
Not for a few years, I hope.
Then we're rich, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Well, that's about the way it looks.
But what am I going to do with my nights now?
Well, you can start by going out to a movie with me. What do you say?
It took you long enough to ask. But wait, aren't you going to turn out the lights?
Oh yeah, almost forgot.